Hello there, everyone. So today I'm going to show you how to do the other half of a portrait. When we work on facial symmetry, everything's the same on this side and this side, okay? So the nice thing is, if there was a mirror here and it reflected the other side of the face, then it would actually look pretty much the same. Um, the face also has nice proportions, so if I were to measure from the middle of her eye down to her chin, and then I took that measurement up, it would actually go all the way up to her forehead, almost all the way up to the top of her head. Okay? Same thing with the eyes. There's actually 5 eyes on the face. So there's one right here, and then there's a space right here. So I can either use my pencil, measure like this, and then move over, and I'll know that her other eye will probably start right here. And then I use my pencil to measure, and her eye is about this big, so I'll just put a little point, okay? When I do proportions, since I know everything's really symmetrical, I'm actually going to map it out like this. So when we start doing our portraits, we're actually not using our value scales just yet. We're just going to map out the face. So I'm putting these little dots as markers to remind me not to go too far. Okay, so if her face is this wide, then I know that it goes all the way out here. I'm going to do this with my fingers too. If it helps you to do that, then do that. So I think I got her eyes a little bit mixed up because okay. And then same thing with her face and her hair. I just put some dots to help me out. Now when we start, we're going to start with light lines. Focus on light, okay? Don't draw heavy. Do not draw dark lines like these, okay? That's, no. Don't do that. Draw light lines, okay? They're easier to erase. When we work on this portrait, we're going to be using special 6B pencils, and they can get really dark really quick. So I like to start with the eyes, just because they're the most complicated. The eyes are a nice almond kind of shape, and they go straight out. When I'm working on this, I'm trying to make sure that I'm looking at her eye while I'm drawing it. Because if I don't, then I end up messing it up. Okay? I don't necessarily have to get it completely right the first time. I can always erase. If you mess up, think of it more as practice. Every time you get to redraw something, it's more practice for you to work on. So I realized I made her eye a little too open, so I'll make it a little bit smaller. Just trying to find the proportions. Okay. Just going to outline her eyebrow for now. Not going to do anything crazy with it. When you're working on portraiture, a lot of people want to focus on one spot for a really long time, but right now we're just getting lines. We're not getting any values in here yet because we are going to get lines. We're going to get values on another piece of paper entirely. This is just our sketch paper. Okay, so your goal is to try and get as much information on here as possible. Now right here there's a little shadow, so I'm actually going to draw an outline for the shadow so that I know where it is. And right here there's also a little shadow. It's kind of a triangular shape, so I'm also going to put that on there. Very lightly draw this in. She also has shadows and highlights under here. And she also and kind of whoops. Right now, when you just weird just she's already snotted. The thing about it's not purposeful. Okay, I lower the argument. Okay, so right here, I'm trying to get a feel for the angle. So I kind of angle my pencil, and then I twist it so that it kind of angles out that way. So I know that her jawline's supposed to come out about this far. And then it slowly comes back up like this. By the time it gets to her eyes, see this little bend right here? Of her, like the skin around her nostrils, or it's not going to understand that her eyes are actually closer together rather than far apart. Okay, so we need to make sure that we actually look at the picture while we're working. If you notice here, the ear usually starts just about the eye line, like the eyebrow line. So it starts at the eyebrow line and it stops at the nose. So if I was to draw a line out like this, that's where the ear would start and begin. Okay, it's pretty cool how it does that, and it works for pretty much any person on the planet, unless they have like really, really big or really, really small ears. Once again, I'm just trying to get an outline. She has an earring on, but I might just leave that out just because I don't think she has an earring on the other side. But definitely for this one, she does have an earring here. So very lightly put this in. And then it has like a little thing at the bottom. This is not how I'm going to leave this. Also put a line right here. And put some shading in right here. Okay, so now for her hair. Actually, I'm going to do her neck first. So I'm going to scooch down here. And then I have to draw the neck with like the shoulders and stuff. This is going to be really interesting to shade because her skin's kind of all different sorts of values. So she's going to be just a slight challenge, but not so much that I can't handle. It's a simple line. If you notice, the neck comes down, like it goes about as wide as the ears, but it starts just inside the chin. Some people make necks really skinny and some really wide, but it kind of tapers in a little bit. It starts at the ear and kind of comes down. Okay. Now her hair, she's kind of got this nice braid thing going on. Because of the copier, it's hard to see the textures here, but I'm just going to try and recreate it the best I can. So she has kind of a braid around the top of her head, and then she has thicker hair, so you can see the texture of it right here. So this part, it kind of tapers in really quickly to the ear. I went out a little bit too far, so I have to take that in. When you're doing hair, a lot of times the lines should be kind of wispy. So if you notice, I didn't draw a straight line. I did kind of a wispy line. Use the lines to kind of help you, okay? Right here, I did a hard line, but I actually might just erase that and put more of a textured line down here because that matches her hairline better than what I put before, okay? And this is still coming out too far. This angle does not match this angle, so I need to bring this in just a little bit. All right, so now I have my lines, which are super helpful. Okay, I I actually made her tooth a little small. See, the nice thing is about working around the whole page. When you work around the whole page, you are able to see things that may not have worked. If you focus just on one area at a time, then you're not going to notice what you need to fix. But if you kind of rest your eyes on that spot for a second and then move to another one, that actually helps you figure out what you need to fix. Okay, so like I looked away from my paper for a minute and I realized this part does not match this part. So I need to bring it in a little bit more. Little tweaks here and there. And notice how drawing lightly has helped me out quite a lot because it's easier for me to erase. Okay, got her wonderful hairstyle done. I wish I could do my hair that way. Also, just as a heads up, this took me a total of like 15 minutes. So for you guys, since you're just starting out, it may take you a whole class time, but don't take longer than a class time because we want to actually start getting values on the page. Right now, it's just lines. No shadows exist. Okay? All right, I'll see you in the next video.